What is going on, governors? Chisgule here, and Kingdom migrations are coming in Update 18, which means that Kingdom 51 wants you. We're going to talk all about updates coming to Rise of Kingdoms, and if that's something you're into, you should definitely like and subscribe, because we are a sponsored creator for Rise of Kingdoms. That's right, my friends. We've received word from the devs. Kingdom migrations are coming. That means you can move from one kingdom to another. Now, from what we can tell, it looks like you might only be able to go to kingdoms that are older than your own, but I'll have some shots up behind me, and you can see that already. The king can set a threshold for migration in your kingdom. This means that if you don't want power players joining up, they can't actually join your kingdom unless the king says so. Transferring to another kingdom is going to use up migration items. We don't know what that means yet, but the more powerful you are, the more of them you're going to need. You can only jump every 30 days, so you'd better jump wisely, making sure that if you can't get into your alliance of choice, that you've got a backup plan, and quite frankly, you should really have the conversation with the alliance leadership before you make any sort of movement. That said, there's a couple other things that we probably ought to talk about here. The first is that although you can migrate yourself, you cannot actually migrate your alliance. In other words, your alliance is tied to the kingdom that you are in. What that means is that ultimately the most valuable thing your alliance has is its technology and its flags, and those all get left behind. So if you had a big vision of sending your whole alliance to another kingdom, you can do it, but you're starting all over again from a tech perspective, which seems pretty darn rough. With that said, it seems like perhaps merging with other alliances could be a very, very strong strategy if you're considering migrating. And my friends, I don't know. What I like about a kingdom migration is that we now enter into the realm where your alliance doesn't have to be comprised primarily of the most powerful players that you can get your hands on. You can really find a great fit for your culture, a great fit for your play style, your mindset, your commitment level, and that is 10 out of 10 exciting, my friends, as an addition to Rise of Kingdoms. That said, in Kingdom 51, which is where I live, we are going to be recruiting like crazy because Kingdom 51 wants you. That's right, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the alliances in Kingdom 51 because we are going to be recruiting like mad when the doors open for Kingdom migrations. That's right, there's a bunch of alliances I want to talk about. First is Legion. This is my alliance. We're going to have a pretty high power threshold for joining up. We take the game pretty seriously, but have a lot of fun as we do it. And we're moving to a place where we're really focused on bringing in players who are playing the game to get better and better every day and take it, like it's a game, but pretty seriously with regard to their commitment for playing. Up next, I want to talk about our allies VYG, and I'm just going to zoom out to show you where they're at on the map. Up over here in red and yellow, and they've also got a little farm alliance in blue. VYG, as I understand, speaks primarily German, and so there's a bunch of folks there that if you are a native speaker, and I've already sent one person over who reached out to me in advance of this video about kingdom migrations, to them saying that this might be a good place for you if you want to speak mostly German. Their neighbors include Deaf Heaven, DFH. They speak English and Russian. Up next, we talk about NNL. Their leader, I believe, speaks French, and they have several members that speak French, but it is primarily an English-speaking alliance. They are one of our family of alliances, and for folks that don't hit our power requirements, we'll probably be sending you to NNL and also LN2. LN2 is another one of our family of alliances. They've got a footprint in Zone 3 and Zone 2. Pretty solid positioning there and some solid tech. Up Next, I want to talk about Faceless. Faceless is the @_plus. You've seen them in a bunch of my videos, and they speak Russian in addition to English. In addition to these alliances that are in the Lost Temple area currently, I want to call your attention to several other alliances that have some really great leadership. That includes VGRD, formerly Toon. They are the second strongest alliance in the kingdom, and like I mentioned, have some really passionate leadership. I also want to call your attention to HK7, speaking primarily Chinese, and some of the very best technical play I have seen across really any alliance anywhere. They are pretty darn solid in their gameplay. The next alliance that I want to call your attention to is some of our friend and family alliances that are outside of Zone 3. That includes DKD and TXR on the screen here. With TXR, we did a merge with a bunch of their members in LN2, so a lot of their members are in LN2. If you wanted to join us and you were at the very low end of the power spectrum, TXR might be a place to go to start to power up to ultimately join us for the KVK goodness. In DKD, we are friends with this alliance, very good relationship there, and we keep pretty close with them. Couple last alliances I want to mention include the Misfits Incorporated. They've got a T5 player, Babbles. And then lastly, I'll call attention to some of the alliances on the east side of the map supporting formerly Toon is the Savage Tunes and also WoW. My friends, Kingdom 51 is gearing up for whatever KVK may become, and we'd love for you to be a part of the action. Join us in our quest to completely smash Kingdom vs. Kingdom. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, you should definitely like and subscribe. Send a message to me or my officers if you're interested in joining us. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.